Emergency. Queen's Quest arrived. Emergency. Queen's Quest arrived. Emergency. Queen's Quest
down to the queens.
Hello, ladies, gentlemen, everybody inside and outside of the gender spectrum, and welcome back to Stardom Quest Gold, the best weekly Stardom and Marigold podcast anywhere in the world. I am, as always, Alex, and I'm joined by Dylan. Hi, Dylan.
Hi, Alex. Hi, everybody. I feel like we should have something prepared. After 5 straight years of asking for Momo to win a pay-per-view main event. I feel like we should. I feel like we were meant to, like, I don't know, like a grandiose bit or just like us crying or something. I feel like that is warranted. Like I feel like I am under delivering without it, but we're here. We're here to talk about
We're both here.
Momo 5-star.
Hell yeah. I missed the week of unimportance, so I made it. I made the great
There was
decision
plenty of
there.
importance last week.
No. I'm very glad I didn't predict the Final Four last week. There's been
We got
egg on the
Rina.
face. That's good. That's good. You and I did predict Ami versus Momo, and that was all I needed. It was like, you know what? We had our finger on the pulse for one
I
thing.
expected that a bit later, truly, but yeah.
We got there. But yeah, well, I should probably plug the site before we start. So head on over to the 5-star-network.com for all of the latest articles and podcasts from the wonderful world of pro wrestling. Head on over to the 5-Star Network YouTube channel, which is where this, as well as shows like Actress Stage and No Limit Wrestling, all go up. Forget all that though, because we're going to start with Stardom.
No. Don't forget that.
Why?
No Limit Wrestling show N1 Victory preview dropped last week.
I asked 2 questions for that. Yeah, listen to that, because my
it was
questions
fun.
are good.
Your questions were good. We did appreciate them because it actually did bring up a very good conversation about Ozawa and
I figured.
how he can perform as a heel against some of the people and how he can't. Because ultimately it's a pretty good babyface block, but also it's not the best just like work block. So it's like it could either be great for him or it could be really bad for him. Like it's there's not really much of an in between. But you can check out all of that conversation in our preview for the N1 Victory. We will get back to regular episodes soon, but me and Xavi were like, damn, it feels so nice to like barely have to prepare and just kind of enter, like go into a podcast and just like have like knowledge about the topic and just talk about it instead of having to watch a show and take notes and dissect it in any sort of way. So yeah, in that way that's why we've been doing that recently, is because we've been working a lot and it's been difficult sometimes to plan accordingly, but those regularly scheduled episodes will be returning soon, but check that out, please.
Okay. Well, let's get on to Stardom. And as we always do, we're going to discuss the winner of the 5-Star Grand Prix, because this past weekend, Momo Watanabe shocked the world to emerge as the winner of the 5-Star. Kind of a very unexpected result going into the tournament. We previewed this with Xavier, and kind of the leading candidates were your Scott, sorry. We previewed it with Scott, and it was Hanan, it was Ami Sourei, it was maybe, Starlight Kid just wins, maybe Sari wins. Nobody had really thought of Momo Watanabe just because she hasn't been put into that kind of position in recent months. But if there's one thing that you got to appreciate about this new regime is they will just attempt to hit a home run no matter what the pitch is. And you have to give it to them that they will just be like, you know what, we want to do this, so we're going to do it. And I have a lot of respect for that, because it does give us some really interesting stuff, like Momo winning the 5-Star. which was huge. This was our Hiroki Goto. Like this was something we gave up hope on years ago. Like because for people who weren't there before the Bushiroad purchase don't understand. This woman used to be the demon who like invaded your nightmares. She would on every single show be driver your favorite, pin them, tell them they sucked.
And then tell everybody to clap for her.
Yes.
I
Like
vividly remember that picture of her after like stomping out Jungle Kiona, being like, "Yes, everybody, clap for us.
yeah.
Thank you." They like
She
I
was
was like,
literally
"You
like, "What are you
fucking
gonna do? You're gonna piss your
asshole."
pants? You're gonna cry? You're gonna piss your pants?
Yeah,
Like, clap for me, guys! I'm the better wrestler." Like, she was a demon. She was literally the nightmare in everybody for everybody's favorite. She was the EO replacement. Like, she was going to win everything
she was a
all the
fitting one.
time, forever. Very fitting one. And so like when she dropped the white belt to Arisa Hoshiki, it was like, okay, yeah, Momo's gonna win the red belt or the 5-star soon. And soon ended up being 5 years, um, which is a lot longer than I think most of us expected. Sorry, 6 years. She dropped it in 2019. I forgot. But you know, her career took a lot of different directions. Obviously, the heel turn happened, and that ended up with her being kind of the third or fourth in a Ueda tie. She seemed kind of destined to see out her career as the very reliable hand who wins the tag belts or the trios belts every now and again, but mostly just comes up short in big matches. So for us, like we've seen Momo go from the ace candidate to the forgotten one to now being a GP winner, and it was insane. Like that morning was ridiculous. I was rooting for her like it was a football match. Like it was something that you very rarely get to experience in wrestling.
It was such a fascinating experience for me specifically because like my favorite wrestler who had been on like a redemption tour the last 2 3 shows of the tournament. We talked about it last week. Me and Sandre both really liked that Sakakara match in between Azumi's or right before Azumi's crazy run in the Korakuen
Yeah.
and crazy run at the final. Like I think her last 3 shows were pretty fucking great um for Azumi. And somehow like I went into the main event being like, I can't lose. Like objectively, there is a more interesting answer, like a more interesting option here, and that was obviously the one I was rooting for, and that's the one we got with Momo Watanabe. But I watched the match, and I'm just like, I won. I got the match. I got what I like. I got this. I got Momoaz in the final, and I don't know if you saw this. I know, I actually know you did because I sent it to you. 10 years to the day after I believe their first singles match. Uh, in the prelims of a 5-star tournament show. 10 years to the day, Momo versus Azumi. Like that match itself was like so important to me. And I really wanted to rewatch it. I was half asleep, as I told you before, um, before we started recording. But I really want to rewatch it. But just like it, my point being, I really like was like, it's so weird that I'm rooting so adamantly against Azumi right now. Because all I've ever wanted was Azumi to go to the finals and ideally win the 5-star. But there's something about Momo specifically, and I've always talked about it, that she is the Goto-esque wrestler. Like I like it is very a fitting phrase. I mean, like you look at Micah, she only had to deal with that for like 2 years of being a world title contender. Um, Momo's had to deal with that for 7. Like even when she was white belt champ, like it still was hard. Like she still couldn't get to the red belt. She challenged against Kagetsu, as everybody knows, in 2018. Like it's just I don't know. I'm kind of rambling, but there's just something about Momo that really brings something out of me as a fan of Stardom that uh, I'm shocked they tapped into, and I was very happy that they tapped into, um, because it was a great idea in my opinion. In fact, it was such a great idea, I came up with it a few months ago. Um, and then they just like did not build to it at all. And I was like, well, I guess I gotta give up hope. And then they did it. And I was like, shit, okay. Because as soon as Tam retired, literally the minute Tam retired, I was like, and Mayu left. Obviously, Tam retired, Mayu left. So I was like, they need to like really figure out their main event scene outside of Saya Kamatani. And the answer is and was Momo. And they were just like, she's gonna lose to Miyu Amasaki, actually. And I was like, okay, fuck me, I guess. But now we're here, and where we go from here is equally interesting. But God, does it feel nice to see Momo win. Mayu, that's not the name of my dog. Molly, shut up. Um, but yeah, so you can continue. Sorry.
I think that Momo, when the final four was confirmed, I know we were talking about it in our Discord of Momo is the most interesting option, and I immediately went, well, you can do the Batista, and so I feel like her winning the tournament has kind of thrown this like spanner into the main event scene that we didn't really foresee because it was always kind of like, well, Poi Saya can run it back. Saya can defend against Sari. Saya can defend against Sami Sore. Natsupoi probably gets the belt. But now with this one decision, Stardom has just thrown all of that on its head with
Mm,
this is Momo Watanabe, and there is so many ways they can do this. They can do the Batista, or they could do Saya beats her and kicks her out, and they do a rematch. Or there's any number of things they can do because they're not afraid to do rematches, right? Like they will
mhm.
happily run Momo Saya twice in the space of 4 months and make it draw. So she opens up this world of possibilities that I think will only benefit Saya Kamatani as well, because Saya's red belt run just got infinitely more interesting with this primed white hot challenger.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. It's very interesting. I think truthfully, and this is the problem always. Sorry to be the Debbie Downer so quick. But the truthfully, the only person that this move can screw over is Momo. Um, because obviously it was the big win, and it does cement her as uh, truly like up there again, which I don't think she has been since she turned. I mean, I guess that stretch, that undefeated stretch early last year, was the closest you could even say of her being presented as a true threat to the top titles. But even then, I think we went into her versus Micah as like, okay, I mean, it would be cool, but let's be real. Like I feel like it's the first time that she's being presented as like really, you know, an optimal threat against the top champion. This is, I guess, is the important uh, pluralization there. But I I think it could kind of backfire because there is a very real possibility that, and this is my fear, that they run Hate versus Hate at Crimson Nightmare 2025, which is the pay per view after
Yeah, it's in
Stardom
November.
versus the World or whatever. Um, yeah, it's Crimson Nightmare in November. It's possible that they titled it that because it's all hate everywhere, all hate everything, if you will. Um, and they just do Momo versus Saya there. Saya vanquishes her. Momo falls in line. Like that is the worst case scenario for me. Um, Even worse than Momo just beating Sari, because that would suck too. But or losing to Sari, I guess. That would suck similarly hard. But I do think there is, because there's so many opportunities with a Momo 5-star win, and a good like half of them, probably a bit more than half, are really interesting. Um, I'm fearful that they won't go that direction. But that fear is beyond the point. I agree with you that if they do go with Momo versus Saya, and it means something, it has ramifications beyond just Momo challenging her leader and then falling in line. I do think that that greatly benefits Sai Kamatani because it, like I said, she needs main event caliber challengers. You know, what I mean, and true main event caliber challengers. I think Ami Sore is a great challenger who can rise to the occasion. I think Soriano, obviously great wrestler, can challenge, rise to the occasion. Natsupoi is a main event level challenger. Momo can be such a effective rival for Saya, um, for so many reasons. Like there's so much lore there. And if a certain somebody happens to have a certain book, I think lore might play a part in this. Maybe. So I don't know. I think there's so much that you can do with this, and I just really hope they do one of the many scenarios that is interesting. Um, because we still gotta see if she swings the bat. You know what I mean? She
Yeah.
won, but that metaphor that I've made into something very big in my own brain, uh, it only works if she leaves hate, or if she ousts Saya and becomes the leader, which I still don't like that idea. I think that'd be kind of, but like she needs to take Saya out. Like that needs to be, they
Yeah.
need to split to be effective. So, and for me to be satisfied. So I hope they do something interesting in that way. I've been saying the Batista scenario is my best case scenario. I think it's the most interesting, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm realizing now there's probably some people listening to this who maybe missed Batista and
Oh,
weren't there. So I don't know if they know what we mean when we say the Batista, but essentially he won the Royal Rumble in like '06 or something as part of Evolution. And Triple H was world
oh
champion of
five, yeah,
Raw.
yeah.
And so Triple H was like, "Well, you're going to challenge the SmackDown World Champion, right? Like, you're not going to challenge me. Like, you're in Evolution. You're gonna challenge me, right?" And they teased that for weeks until it culminates in Batista giving him the thumbs down and turning on him and being like, "Well, yeah, I am gonna challenge you." And Batista turns babyface, and of course, it works really, really well.
Yeah,
He
one of
he
the
remains one of the top three baby faces of that kind of decade, basically.
one of the coolest Triple H angles ever. In fact, I would argue,
Yes, yes.
because it just was so effective. Um, so yeah, like that's that. Yeah, that's what we're referring to.
Um, I think there's definitely legs. I think it's important that Saya Kamatani left the venue. Very notably, went to perform on TV. I think she was singing on one of the TV shows she's on while Momo was being crowned. And in my eyes, I feel like the Saya being called a fraud stuff should lead to Momo as the true heart. Because that used to be her thing. She was the true heart. Kagetsu was like you and Kiona, I think, are going to carry the company. Of course, Kiona
It was
wasn't
meant to
able
be.
to.
It was meant to be Momo, Kiona, and Hazuki, and then
Yeah,
Hazuki retired, Kiona left, and Momo turned heel.
yeah.
Uh,
So like Momo is the true heart. She is the heart of Stardom and stuff like that. And you can do her as the real wrestler taking on this supposed fraud Saya Kamatani. Because a lot of people have been calling Saya a farce and been pointing out that she's more interested in being a fake entertainer and stuff like that. Then you can very easily lead into that if they want to, and have Momo kind of bring up the fact that Saya wasn't even there when she won because she didn't care about the tournament or something like that. So there's a lot of avenues they can go with. Like Momo, of the four that were like in the final four, I think she was the most interesting option. I think
Certainly.
Azumi's only issue was the purple belt. If Azumi didn't have that, I think that would have been fine. But her being strong champion kind of hurt her. Rena, I think would have been cool, but she likely would have challenged for the white belt. So that's
She could
whatever.
just do that. She could
Yeah,
just
she
do
could
that
do that.
forever.
I think Siriano was the worst option in my eyes right now because she just hasn't been put in an interesting spot this year. Like she just lost the white belt match, and I think her losing two title matches in a row, getting sad for 3 weeks, and then winning the GP would have just been a little bit iffy. So I feel like they went with the best possible result of that final four anyway.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. It felt so unlikely too. So it's like by
Mhm.
as when Momo beat Ano, I just like sat there like, oh shit, oh we're here. It's in motion. It's happening. Like that's crazy. Um, yeah, no, I think Momo was definitely the best option. Um, I already said it, but like I said, I mean, Momo just from a positioning standpoint, uh, once Mayu and Tam were gone, felt like a necessary. Like really
Yeah,
had to put her over this year in some way, strong. Like even
especially
if she doesn't
because
win the red belt.
they don't care about Siri. they
No, oh,
they
I
send
forgot
Siri
she
down the
worked
river.
here. If I'm
Yeah,
gonna be completely honest, I know she's hurt, but like, are we sure she just doesn't? They just don't want to pay her a wrestler date wage. You know what I mean? Like they're like, we'll pay you for commentary, but we're not paying you to fucking wrestle. Fuck that. Yeah. So yeah, they clearly don't like Shuri. Um, and Momo they clearly do to some degree and I think
hmm
even if they don't like her that much, I still think that there's clearly uh respect for her abilities and what she can potentially bring to this main event scene. I will say just watching the confetti go off for Momo, because that's
yeah,
never happened before. Like she's never won a main event pay-per-view match, singles match. I think she's probably won
that's
like a
crazy.
tag or something. Maybe not a tag, but like
She
I
would
think
have
this was actually
she would have
her
before Bushi Road, obviously.
yeah,
She
but there were no pay-per-views before Bushiroad.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true.
so it's like the big like yeah. So it's just like it just felt so novel and
Mm.
so special. It's funny. I wrote a poem about Momo like a week
Oh,
before this. Uh, I'm thinking about putting it on my Substack, but I don't really like releasing my poetry. It's kind of personal. But I don't know. There's something about Momo. I always say that, but there's something about Momo that's really uh, uh, personally impactful. I cried a lot after she won. Like
mm.
I was quite emotional because it's just, you know, it's nice to see someone that you followed. I mean, both of us started watching during her white belt reign. Or maybe were you right before it started or right afterwards? Or
As during it,
yeah, same,
the
same.
double title match with Kagetsu, I think, was jumping in.
Gotcha. Yeah, mine was whatever one before that. Oh, the Hazuki one, which was great. That
Mm.
was my first like show. Uh, so yeah, we both kind of jumped in when Momo was this phenom, and it's really cool. Even if we don't get, true phenom Momo with her going, V10 with the red belt. And she's a different wrestler now. I think her injuries are starting to add up, not to the point where they make her a poor wrestler or even a weaker wrestler, but she's almost 11 years in. Like it's bound to happen. Um, it it just is really cool to have that hope that maybe we'll see her win the belt that's eluded her.
You hope so.
This is the first time that
And
I feel like there's actually hope. Like, you know what I mean? Like for real. Like,
yeah,
and it makes sense, and I'm
uh,
not like just delusional here. It's the first time in so long that I was like, no, this. I mean, like, it's not insane. It's unlikely because Saya's on her run, but it's not insane. So it's cool.
um, we'll obviously review the match later.
Mhm.
We'll dig into it. But that is for now our thoughts on Momo 5 star. From that news to less fun news, B Priestley has joined Stardom basically on a full time basis. They announced this during the press conference for her versus Saya. Um, you know, Interesting use of funds. I think, my issue with signing B is I just think there are so many better prospects on the scene now that you could have used that money on. Um, so I'm kind of just like, why would you use money for this when you could have thrown a bag at Lena Cross or something like that?
Well, they couldn't have. I think TNA's got her. But I do think that there is a legitimate like. Obviously, I don't know these people's pay, but like it's not unlikely that she is getting paid actively more than like Hazuki. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
and like people like that. Like that's where it's kind of like strange. Um, or like you said, I mean, there are definitely people that they could and should throw a bag at. Because I am not as opposed to be getting signed. I think for her it's the best place. I think for us it's slightly unfortunate. Uh and I think for Stardom, it fills a hole that they like to kind of accommodate for. Uh, they like to have at least 1 to 2 foreigners like that are there long term, and with Bozilla having her standout performance at uh, Forbidden Door, I imagine that Bozilla will not be that for much longer. So I get it. You know what I mean? Like they like to have a white person or two here. And Xena, as soon as B said she was signed, she's like, "Homegirl, you ain't the top guy, you no more. Uh, say hello to the Touch
Apologies.
of Thunder, baby." And that gave me hope. Like I think that made me happy enough to where I'm like, who cares? Xena's coming back. Like maybe not immediately, but she showed signs of life, which I have been worrying about for a while because she has been
Yeah,
pretty
still
silent.
very quiet.
So like I'm cool with it. I think hot take maybe. I think B Priestley right now is better than Tekla was a year ago. And I think she can add more to the company than Tekla did a year ago. So it's like I
But
don't really
where does
mind.
she fit in? Are they gonna
I
turn her
think I
heel
think that
again?
is the single thing that I'm like, I don't know. I she could just like become the EXV. Uh she could, but then Xena's there. I feel like
Yeah.
that doesn't make much sense. I'm not sure
Yeah.
really, because that is the thing. Like,
That's my like my big issue is
Neogenesis
with
is kind of a problem. Like
no,
the existence of Neogenesis, because
kind of.
like her and Azumi as you know in the same faction again wouldn't be insane.
Maybe
That,
Loca. She'd kind
yeah,
of
I could
fit
see
the vibe.
her
Yeah,
like I said, I could see her just taking Bozilla's spot just generally.
possibly.
I wouldn't be surprised. We could also see, maybe this is setting in motion a redux of Queen's Quest, and we see Momo and B
Mm,
reunite.
possibly.
Because that's the person that she has the most history with
Yeah.
outside of Azumi. But
I,
Azumi's,
I
like
I
I
think
said,
that just complicates things though, because then you need more members, and you're likely pulling from God's Eye or already depleted EXV. So
well, yeah, one of those
I don't know.
EXV should just die. Like, let's be
Well,
frank
yeah,
here.
sure, but they don't wanna. So I don't know. I feel like you would be having one faction too many there unless they had a third.
Yes,
But
no, I
I
agree.
don't know.
I think that they would have to.
Maybe Rena turns with them.
That would be interesting. I don't think it'll
Yeah,
happen. Me and
because
Sandre
you've
again,
got like a
yesterday this
solid
week,
core in Hate now with Rocka, Tora, Kamatani.
Saya and
You
Konami
can
when she shows up.
yeah, like I think you can just sacrifice Arena to a new group.
I agree. Like I don't I agree. But yeah, we'll see. I think that is the biggest question is like where B slots. She could just work with stars like she
I
has been.
guess but that's not interesting. Like
No.
I'm already having trouble getting interested in what B can do because she's hit her ceiling a long time ago. She's been world champion, you know. Um, but like I just don't know what she does
And
in this company.
in a way, I think that might be why I'm less worried. Is because it's not like, oh, they always wanted to, well, and this is a different company, obviously, because Rossi was the one booking her last time. But it's not like, oh, they always wanted to put the belt on her. She always seemed primed for it, but they just never really got around to it. They did get around to it. She was champion. So like I don't expect her to become one of like what, 4 two-time red belt champions. And I don't
Mm,
see her winning the white belt. So at worst, she takes one of the 2 belts that don't really matter to me. Um, that's fine. Or as tag champ again. She was always better as a tag wrestler anyway. So that's fine. Like I don't really have much I don't know. I feel like I'll forget she's on the roster enough, frankly.
I mean, that's still not good use of the funds. I don't know.
I
I,
agree. I
I
agree.
really just, if you're gonna go get foreign talent, I think there's just so many prospects now that I would prefer. Um, but I don't know. I don't book Stardom. They don't ask me my opinion on these things, so that's it. It's I'm sure it'll be fine. If she can find a space on the roster that can make use of a reliable veteran, but yeah, I think that's just going to be difficult to figure out. Enough on the news. It is time to get on to the review portion of the show. We're going to first start with the Stardom 5-star GP playoff show at Cork and Hall. This is on the
Oh,
2nd of
here we go.
August. in front of a sellout 1,589 fans. Whew. Would have thought we would ever see Joshi in front of sold out Corkins
Thousands of
this
people
often.
constantly.
Pretty
I
insane.
mean, fucking Sendai had like their worst big show in years, and it got 3,000 people.
3,900.
Yeah, 4,000 people. That's fucking insane. Like,
I
really,
know.
when you think about it, because that show wasn't good, and
Oh yeah, it was so
the
uninspired.
card wasn't even. You know what I mean? Like, the card wasn't even good, particularly. Uh,
Yeah.
Wild shit. Also, shouts out Spike one time. Excited for her to be
Oh
back.
yeah. All right. Well, this show started with Suzu Suzuki beating Bozilla in just under 12 minutes with a German suplex hold. This was a very good match, a very good opener.
Yep.
I love the brawling. I think one underrated aspect of Bozilla is her brawling is fantastic
Her
when they
brawl,
spill out of the ring.
her brawling at Cork and Hall is like one of the coolest things about Joshi wrestling over the past 2 years, or
Yeah,
past
for
year
sure.
and a half. Damn, she's only been around for 15 months. Ain't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
Or something like that. Yeah,
Roughly
crazy.
that, yeah.
Uh, yeah, so that's like been one of the most fun things over the past like year is Bozilla's brawling in Cork and Hall specifically. Because she's just a natural at it, and Suzu is also a natural at it. So uh, this match could have been basically all brawl, and it would have been dope. But they also did some cool in-ring stuff with Suzu kind of, uh, you know, doing the David and Goliath type gimmick that
Mhm.
I appreciated. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, they built the finish pretty well, and Bozilla I thought put Suzu over pretty strong.
Oh
She
yeah.
took that German on her dome and kind of kept the pin a little bit as well. So I think she made Suzu look like $1,000,000.
Oh, 100%.
Um, then got on to Azumi beating Hanan in 10 minutes with the numero uno. This was a great match.
Yes.
Hanan is really capable of like speeding up to mix with Azumi, and Azumi was just kind of like trying to kick her head in. And I think there was a lot of praise for Azumi this past week, and a lot of people saying that this is some of her best work. Um, I thought it was interesting because this was some of her best work in a long, long
Yeah.
time. But it was by going back, like this Korakuen, both of her matches, she was very much doing high speed. This
She
was the
can
Azumi.
scale up. I
Yeah,
don't know
like
why
this.
she doesn't as
I don't
much.
know. This was the Azumi we saw a few years ago that
Mm,
a lot of people weren't sure on. She just brought that back and mixed it in with a bit of maturity. Like all of
yeah.
this praise for Azumi is kind of slightly mind blowing because it's like she's just doing what she did. Like, she is just a high speed version of herself. It's just a small bit more mature now. She has the submissions to her game. She has the head kicks, but she was working high speed. She was working with that zip and creativity that she had in 2021, 2022. This was just it brought back, and now
Yeah.
it's people love it. And I'm like, okay, like I agree, which is fantastic,
Oh,
but
I mean, she
this
she
isn't
was
brand
my
new.
she was my wrestler of the year too, or not wrestler of the year. She was like top 5 wrestler of the year throughout basically her entire high speed run
Mhm.
or high speed title runs. She had 2 of them. Look, because she was so masterful at that style that it was just like it was hard to ignore when she would get a singles match every month, every other month. It's like she knew how to do it, and it was just natural. And yeah, I feel like that is something that was really funny to me is that it's like I don't know. I've been I don't want to say I've been out on Azumi, but I've been in recognition that she kind of has been she plateaued a bit. Um, Mainly, starting around the start of Neo Genesis. She plateaued a bit and she's kind of became Kid's second in command. Um, and I feel like she finally kind of found her that chip on her shoulder that she had throughout her run in Queen's Quest, and it really shined in this tournament. Some of this tournament, especially the back half of the tournament, and this match in particular. We talked about it a little bit through text. That's like Azumi is probably Hanan's best match. Um, but Azumi has like 7 best matchups. Like it's just a matter of bringing it out of her and like it working. And I did think this match was great. I thought it was awesome. Great show. So it was a bit difficult
Mm.
because I think this was like the third best match of the night for me. But yeah, I
Um,
still thought it was great.
yeah, you could
Depends on how you feel about
definitely get away
one
with that.
particular match a little bit later on.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Um, our next match was Momo Watanabe beating Ami Sore, sending one of the tournament favorites packing in just under 12 minutes with a Peach
Well, I mean,
Sunrise.
Hazumi sent the other tournament favorite, not
Yes,
favorite, but
both of them back to
final
back
favorite.
were
Yeah,
eliminated. Um, we should have known Momo was going to win. She was aura farming like crazy before this match. I
yes.
remember seeing that and going, "Oh, yeah, okay, I can see why she won." This is a pretty good match. I mean, I think they have a better one in them if they got time to kind of build it up. But for what
Yeah.
we got, I thought it was a pretty strong kind of Momo being a dickhead kind of match.
Yeah, no, I agree. I do think that the match itself was like nothing insane, but I had fun with it, and I think it was in line with Ami's tournament, which has
Hmm.
been nothing but quite good matches. I wouldn't say any of her matches individually have been like great or blow away better than anything else in the tournament, but I Ami just brought a level of consistency that you want uh, out of somebody coming off of a severe knee injury. You want to see that from her, and I thought this was a pretty good way to close it off. Even if this is, it's funny because like I don't know, halfway through the match, I started to realize that it's like, yeah, Ami, this isn't Ami's tournament. I don't know whose tournament it is. As I watched Momo Watanabe, I don't know whose tournament it is, but it's not Ami's. And I kind of started to realize that yeah, Momo was winning. Uh, not the tournament, but the match at least. And like I said, the tournament was still a surprise by the time that she beat Ano. But yeah,
Um, Our next match was Rena beating B Priestley in 11 and a half minutes of the jackknife shrimp hold. As we've always said about B, if you are good enough, you can get her to do a good match, and Rena did that. This was a very good showing from Rena. B Priestley filled in her gaps where she was needed. I thought this was an enjoyable match.
yeah, no, I agree. This is what I mean. Like I don't know if we're gonna do a expansive like review of the tournament, looking at like the matches and the
Probably
MVPs and
not.
whatnot. Uh, but I don't think B was like the worst wrestler in the tournament. Truthfully, I don't even think she was like bottom 4 or 5. Like I think she was pretty comfortably in like the 20 to 25 area. Um, because like I thought she was fine. Like I thought, and I thought this was again similarly to Ami's in a different way, a fitting end to her tournament where she put one of the sisters over, another one of the sisters
Mhm.
over, I should say, and it was a good match, and I was happy with it. Um, I think that again, but not to rehash what we were talking about. I think that's another reason why I'm like, yeah, I don't really care she's around because it's like we have Konami and Hanako to worry about. You know what I mean? Like we have worse people that I watch on a consistent basis. I'm chill.
Yeah.
Like she. This was a good match. That's my
Okay.
point.
All right. We then got on to the quarterfinals. Soriano beat Suzu Suzuki to advance in 11 minutes with a special pottering. That was a very good match. These two are a match made in heaven.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
the I think Ano is just really good at trading with people, and Suzu's whole thing is trading. So, I thought they just fit really well.
Yeah. No, I agree. I feel like this is just a bread and butter combination, if you
Mm.
will, where it's like it's not like they're the great like they have the most chemistry of anybody ever, or even of each
They're
other's
both
careers.
sick fucks who will take neck bumps too,
Yeah,
and they
they're
both
just
love
like
to throw people on their neck. So,
it's like I don't know. It's a bad comparison now, because it, they had a bad match this year. But like when you hear like Punk and Cena talk about each other back in the day, where they'd
yeah,
be like, "Yeah, I mean, like it was pretty much like a sixth sense between the two of us, where we just kind of like knew like what,
yeah.
like just like there wasn't much." They were always on the same wavelength every time they wrestled against each other, no matter what year it was in, basically. That's what it feels like with Ano and Suzu. Um, because it just like naturally it came back to them pretty immediately. It was a very good match.
All right. We then got on to the big upset. Azumi beat Saya Kamatani with the Izumi Zushi in 12 and a half minutes in the quarterfinal, sending the world champion out in a rather surprising result. Um, the crowd reactions for this were off the charts. Like,
Yep.
again, the high speed Azumi just had them by the balls and was just getting the crowd into it. I thought Saya sped up as well. She wasn't really the stomp wrestler she can be. I think she was more than happy to kind of
Well,
turn up the speed a little bit
it
when
took a
she
few
needed to.
minutes, but then she remembered, oh wait, why am I doing this? I could
Yeah.
just I could just go. Um yeah, I thought this match was great. One of my favorite. Um the thing about this match that's like really interesting and that a lot of people kind of like jumped on, understandably so, was the early limb work. And frankly, as much as I think these two are very good against each other, um I don't know that if there's a single person I want doing limb work less than Sai Kamatani. And I don't know if there's anybody I want to see selling specifically leg work
Yes.
more in Izumi. Because Izumi could sell her arm very well. Her and Konami used to work super well against each other because Izumi's really good at selling her arm. And a bunch of other people too with Izumi. Like she can sell. Like she's not just a abhorrent seller across the board. Um, but she's so all of her offense is so naturally like you have to run fast and jump.
Yeah.
Those are the two things she does. That's like she's just not going to give up on that. So sometimes it makes the match completely illogical. Didn't think that was as much of a problem here as people were saying because, like I said, Saya kind of dropped it more or less immediately. Like it wasn't like she was like
Saya's not really a limb targeter. I didn't
that too.
really even take it into account. It just felt like offense, you
That
know?
too. Like, and that's the thing with Saya too. I say this basically every week. She has a weaker opening, and that's fine. I don't think it's that big
Yeah.
of a deal. But when I think people will shit on her opponent for not really like, oh, well, what about Saya's like early heat? It's like Saya's early heat doesn't matter to like anybody and shouldn't matter to anybody. It's just not relevant. It's like that's probably her weakest aspect of her entire wrestling game is
Wow.
you probably shouldn't like if the first 5 minutes of a match, you shouldn't really care. Like you should be prepared to be like, ah, that doesn't really make much sense. Oh, that was kind of lame. Oh, that was kind of boring. Like if you want to enjoy Sai Kamatani, that's kind of what you gotta do.
Okay.
Can you tell that I'm enjoying Sai Kamatani a little bit more since I learned that? Exactly. Like that's just how it is. Um, because yeah, I thought this match was great. I loved the just breakneck speed later on into the match. It was like you said, Azumi in her zone, like at her best, is like that. Like, what the fuck's going on? What are we doing? Like, it's just like it never stops coming at you, and that's the most fun Azumi matches that you'll get. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, this is one of them.
Okay. We then got on to one of our final quarterfinals. Momo Watanabe beat Sari in 15 minutes with a peach sunrise. Not exactly the cleanest result in the world. There was some cheating from Hate. Ruaka threw the box at Sari. And then Konami got in there at one point and hit a German. Um, I think this was an excellent match.
Same.
Probably the best match of the entire tournament. Like this was
Mm,
just this was
go
so
ahead.
chaotic and raw, and the crowd was just on the journey the entire time. Like it was kind of unlike anything else. The even the finishing stretch as the crowd kind of kept going back and forth as like Hate would cheat and they'd be like, "Yeah, get her." And I was like, "Yeah, this is exactly what you need." Like yeah, they're cheating, but the people just hate Sari that much that they don't even care. I think that's awesome. So I just loved it. Like the wrestling itself was crazy. Like the forearms and the strikes were nuts, and the crowd was really hot, and the finish was so chaotic. And I know some people were like really unhappy with that, but I just thought it was chaos and the kind of chaos that Sari brings to the table, and I really enjoyed it. So it was just so fun, so well worked, and even the Hate stuff didn't really drag it down to me.
Uh, yeah, I'm in agreement. I think it was the best match of the tournament. I think it's between like that and Karatora and Suzusari. Those are kind of my top three. I have to rewatch the main event or the final though, so maybe that was it. But I thought this match was great. Even though I agree with a lot of people that the the end of the turn or the end of the match was really rough. You know what I mean? Uh, Specifically with Daichi. I think Daichi fucked up like more than anybody, any individual person. Uh, it was just Daichi just not being on the ball because it wasn't even like he was like just ignoring the heel stuff. The refs are supposed to do that. That's how heel stuff works. But he ignored all the heel stuff. He instead of counting the pin, he called it a submission, which made him more obvious to like, oh, like the heel. You know what I mean? Uh, my niece came in and took my headphones. I was like, "What are you doing?" But point being, I thought that the match was great, but yeah, I did think that a lot of the stuff, I don't think it was meant. Like, I think there were botched stuff. I thought that the heel work. I'm a fan of the way that they wanted to do this match. I think the actual planning was well done. I thought the execution was a bit rough. But it's we talked about it a little bit last week, but looking at the G1 semifinal with Yoda Suji and Evil. Uh a lot of people hated that because it felt like they were burying Yoda Suji or whatever. I feel like the coolest thing you can possibly do is losing to someone, to a heel who treats you like a fucking like Thanos level threat. You know, like oh, like
Mhm.
there are like this is the strongest human being I've ever met. We need to literally thing we have at them until they die. Like that, like we just can't let up. I think that puts somebody over extremely well. That put Yoda Suji over well for me, and I feel like that puts Sari over here for me too. Um, I just wish some of the positioning was better because just
Yeah.
in a like from a functional like the story they were trying to tell and the match they actually had up until some of the messiness at the end. I thought it was great. Yeah, one of the best of the tournament.
Okay. Our main event then saw Rina beat one of the favorites. I think at that point probably the last remaining favorite, Natsupoi, in 13 minutes with a hydrangea to advance and stand tall in the main event of the show. Um, it was a very good match. I think I've been a bit critical of Rina in the tournament, and I think there's definitely a little bit of kind of repetitiveness because I've watched her do her match so often, and she's
Mhm.
like 19 and doesn't have a deep bag of tricks just yet. So I think this was a very good match, but it's one where if they just ran it again in isolation, I think it would probably hit a lot harder.
Yeah.
But like they did the spot in the apron, right? The person from the top rope to the apron thing,
Mhm.
which has been a staple on every show. And so I'm just
Since
like,
Saida did it and it was awesome, and everybody's like, "Yeah,
yeah.
I'm taking that."
So it's like there was a lot of really good spots in this, but I've seen you do literally all of them 4 times over the past 2 weeks. So it's not really as fun, which is the only thing working against this match. But I do see that it was well worked, and I think it was a big win and a big statement to have Rena get this kind of big surprise win in the main event of Korakuen.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, for as great as both of them were in the tournament from a match quality standpoint, they both Rina and Natsupoi both struggled with feeling like they were doing anything. If that makes sense. Like it always felt like they were just kind of like going in circles, and doing kind of, like not really changing their tune much, to fit the match. And against each other, I thought it was a very good match. Um, but still, I still thought it suffered from that issue. And it's funny because Rina, after rewatching it, Rina and Azumi, none of those problems were present. Rina, in fact, brought out like 5 extra moves that I was like, why didn't you do that like any of these throughout the rest of the tournament? Like literally, you could just do the vertebreaker. Like you could have just like peppered that in somewhere else in the tournament. But nevertheless, I thought it was a very good match. But yeah, there definitely was kind of fatigue between both of them. I don't think it was arena specific issue. I think Natsuboy similarly had a very good tournament, but by the end I was a bit fatigued of
Yeah,
Natsuboy matches.
yeah.
You
Natsupoi
know,
didn't really change it up that much. She was
no.
pretty pained by the numbers.
In fact,
Um,
it's interesting because I feel like I'm shocked she didn't implement more of the arm work that she
yeah, she's kind of
like
dropped it.
she
She's very much just
exclusively did
become a
last
very
year. Which
tamish
sucks
wrestler
because
lately.
she actually started getting really good at it. Like a few months ago, we were like, "Oh yeah, like I see where the arm work fits in now. Like it makes more sense now than it did at the end of last year." And she just dropped it because of course she did.
Yeah, but that was that show,
Yikes.
and I had one takeaway that I think we'll have to look forward to next year. I think this playoff show is going to become like the show of the GP now, because
Yeah.
this used to be the final night. Like the final night used to have this kind of like really strong wrestling, big surprises, big upsets, all that kind of stuff. But now it's the quarterfinal. And it was the quarterfinal last year, because I feel like people don't remember last year.
Yeah, that
The
was the
even like
big one.
Yeah, but like going into the tournament and like through the tournament, the vibes in Stardom were just very iffy. Like nobody was really certain on anything. And then that quarterfinal show happened last year, and it was an absolute home run. And everybody went, "Okay, we get it. We're locked in." So I think, from now on, the show of the GP is gonna be this playoff show, because this is where the best matches are gonna happen, and this is where they're gonna do the biggest upsets and the biggest shocks and the loudest crowds. And so I think that's something to keep an eye on going forward, because I imagine every year they're going to do the same, where this is like the biggest and best show, and the final is just kind of there to sell tickets.
Would you rather? Because Momo, and I don't know if they're gonna listen to Momo. Momo said that she's just fucking sick of the 4 blocks and they should do two. Uh, and the fact that the winner said that is a bit telling. Do you think that they can still figure out a way to do a quarterfinal show um, in this vein with 2 blocks, or do you think that they have to? Because like I imagine this show specifically is like what they want. You know what I mean? Like this is the
Yeah.
point
Oh yeah. This is their
of
big
the
idea. Somebody came up
yeah.
with this and is very proud of themselves. Like,
It's like I know that some of the because it's all about building anticipation to this show. Like that's what
mhm.
the tournament is. Unfortunately, the tournament itself is kind of a means to an end. It's kind of a like let's just we're getting through it so that we can finally have this big show,
Yeah.
this quarterfinal show. So it's the playoffs, because it wasn't just the quarterfinal, the playoff show. Like so, I'm wondering if there's a way to make everybody happy. Never is, but by doing I don't know, what would it be? Would it be 2 entrants in each? But no, that's just a semi, isn't it?
Yeah, you'd have to do like four people going through,
Yeah,
and
3
like
or
the
4
block
people.
the block winners get a bye, and then the other
Yeah.
three have to face off. But I don't even know if mathematically that
I
fits.
mean, you could do it where the semis and the final isn't on the same show. Like that's the only alternative.
Possibly,
That
yeah.
way you could stick to 3 per block, uh, especially if the blocks are like 12. Um,
I feel like they'd end up doing play-ins a lot more if that was the
true,
case, because you
true.
do need to fill the quarterfinal playoff card um, with enough
That's true.
matches.
But
So
yeah, it's I hate saying that they're right about a setup that I'm not super crazy about. I'm more psychosis about, in fact. So it's like I don't know.
it's
I
crazy.
don't love. Yeah, I know. I don't love being like, yeah. I mean, you gotta keep doing the quarterfinals, because it does kind of lead to a weaker block. But this was really awesome. Like the show was dope.
It was.
Even the individual, even the like intermission match, the rookies, I was like, they did well.
Oh
Like
yeah,
they tried their fucking best here in between a bunch of fucking killer matches. So yeah, great show.
indeed. And then we get on to the final
Mm.
on the 23rd of August. This is an O Ward Gymnasium. They did an announced attendance of 2,856. I think this was a sellout, or at least, like a low tier sellout. Um, and
They
one
were
of
an
the
Oda
best,
Ward.
yeah,
Is 29?
do you
Is that
know?
a sellout?
But you know how they have like tiers of sellout.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true.
This was one of those tiers. It wasn't like a super no vacancy or anything. Um, But yeah, that was one of the stronger numbers I believe they've ever done an Oat award. One of the best kind of non-Puro numbers there. There are people who are more in tune with that kind of thing than me, but all I know is 2,800 people for your final is very good after doing 1,500 for your playoff. So, they got like 4,000 plus in the door in 1 week. So you can never really consider that a bad thing. Let's see. He opened with B. Priestley, Hanan, and Saya Ida losing to Saya Kamatani, Natsuko Tora, and Rocca. Saya Kamatani pinned Saya Ida with the Star Crusher in 8 minutes. The Kamatani BMI pairing is very much the kind of aura that people talk about a lot, especially with their belts. I'm very into that trio. I think
I do think
they're very
it
cool.
works. Yeah, I agree. I think BMI and Saya work quite well. I'm just a big BMI guy, if I'm being real. I'm a big
Yeah,
fan. And I think
you are.
Saya works with the two of them. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I think it fits. Who would have thought years ago that Jungle Assault Nation would be that, but with Saya Kamatani instead of Jungle Kiona?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't think anybody expected Kiona to last forever as a eternal loser, but
Well, yeah,
uh,
but did they expect Natsuko Tora to last this long as an eternal second in
that's
command?
true. That's true. She, well, everything changed. In fairness, we
Yes,
did have an
obviously,
overhaul of
obviously.
careers, and
But
a lot of
I still
people
think it's
stay around.
like looking at Ruaka, Natsuko, and even Death. Even Yoniyama. It's so fascinating to kind of look at it like that, where it's like, damn,
Yeah,
they're all except for Ida, they're all here, and Leo, but she's gone.
um,
Yeah,
Leo.
she was born to beat
Um,
you.
that's right. This match was good. Kamatani
Yes,
and
I
Ida
like
did
this.
a lot. They didn't do much of B versus Kamatani to preview their title match. They just kind of,
They did B in Natsuko, which
yeah,
I do think is something. I don't know if anybody remembers. B was in Oedo Tai last time she was here. Uh,
yes.
they just didn't mention they're always like, yeah, she's homie. She used to be homies with Azumi and Momo, and it's like, she was in Natsuko's
She was
faction for like 2 years,
tag
bro.
partner with Konami. They won the tag
Yeah,
belts.
they won the tag belts quite
V0.
recently, relatively speaking.
Yeah, I remember that. The V0'd. They won
Terrible
them in
team.
December, lost them in January. It was like,
Black
okay,
Widow,
sure.
terrible team. Very bad together. Uh,
Yeah.
one of the probably the
Uh,
weakest of both of their star. Kelly Klein.
yeah, I don't think you can count that though. That's anything involving the Women of Honor was not a
That's
good
true.
time.
As
But
a
yeah,
signed wrestler, as signed wrestlers, weakest tag runs of either of their careers, uh, but still tag run.
yeah,
Match was
I
good.
guess. Okay. Um, we had a 5-star Grand Prix semi-final. Azumi beat Rina to be the representative from the Red Stars block. She pinned her with the Azubi Zushi in 15 and a half minutes. As you said, this is a very strong match. I think, some of the same criticisms of Rina are still applicable. And I'm willing to give her time to like build out her repertoire of moves and stuff so she can sustain a 15-minute match. But I definitely
To be
think she's
fair,
doing a pretty good job at what she has.
I thought this match specifically told me that there is path forward for her in that
Well,
sense.
yeah,
Like well, not path
she's
forward, but
very
that
talented.
she is actively growing. Because like I said, she hit the
Yeah,
vertebraker. She was teasing the Tiger Lily again, which I
yeah.
was shocked did not make an appearance at all throughout the tournament. Even against B, I kind of expected her to
Well,
beat
that's
B
her
with it.
big match thing.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, no, I guess, but she doesn't win big matches, so
She
she should
will.
probably
That's the very
win
easy
with it at
thing
some
with
point.
it. She
She's
will
never
when
won with
it's
it.
her crowning. Like she will hit
Yeah.
it and win a title. Like that's how it's gonna go.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. Um, but yeah, so I thought this match kind of like showed me that there is like that Rena is actively, gonna continue to grow her game in the
Yeah.
immediate future, which was important because I didn't want to have to like wait another year before she adds another move to her move set. That would be a bit weak. But yeah, I thought this match was fucking great. One of the best of the tournament. Uh, Jesus Christ. I just got added in our Discord. Uh,
Yeah,
grow
I
up
saw.
if you're listening. Grow up. Um, But that fucker made me lose my train of thought. Great match. It was a great match.
Okay. Our next match was Momo Watanabe beating Siriano in the Blue Stars representative match in 14 minutes with a peach sunrise. This is a good match. They are good at wrestling. Probably not
Yeah.
the best combo ever, but like I thought they did good.
No, I didn't think that they like meshed particularly well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not that they
But
meshed
the
poorly.
Siriano neck bumps go burr, so I feel like that was all.
So
That was
true.
all they needed.
So true.
Anno just makes it all work. She's like, you know what? You can in fact drop me on my dome, and I think that's really awesome.
Yeah, I do think that's like the coolest part about her is that she crunches all the time. Like she's like every fucking match, and it's disgusting and it's awesome.
Yeah.
And then she stands up and continues to give that glare like that apathetic glare. I was like, didn't you just break
Yeah.
your neck 7 times? Why do you look like what?
She's
How
real.
did
She's
how are
so
you
real.
doing that right now? Yeah,
We then had Aya Sakura, Natsupoi, and Sayaka Kurara beating Waka Tsukiyama, Hanako, and Rian. Aya pinned Waka in 8 minutes with the Sakurachi, and they challenged for the New Blood tag belts afterwards, which kind of makes sense.
they
This
should
was
bring
low
that.
key, like really good. I don't know if
Yeah,
I'm insane, but I really enjoyed the Aya Waka stuff. And there was another pairing that I thought was really good that I'm totally blanking on, but I
is
enjoyed
Waka
this match.
fine?
What?
Is
Yeah,
Waka a fine wrestler?
Waka has always had talent. She just hides it a lot.
Talent's a strong word. I think Waka's always had a capability to be.
No, she's a good wrestler, legitimately. She just hides it a lot.
I know who you call bad wrestlers. I feel like that's wrong.
No, but I feel like she, on her best day, can legitimately have a
On
very
her
good
best
match
days, can have.
with a
Yeah,
lot
no,
of
I agree.
people.
I could agree with that.
She's just doesn't bring that out a lot.
Her best days are few and far between.
Yeah.
Um,
And she drops the butt comedy. I think she's like perfectly good at what she does. So
mm. I do really hope that Young Kozen wins that. I think
I
they can
don't
have
think
some.
so. Unless they're freeing Hanako up for the future belt, I don't know.
I could see that happening. I don't know. I think Young Kozen can have like actively good matches. With the tag belts. With damn
Depends. The New Blood scene
fuck.
is kind of very uninteresting. And uh, Dylan's dogs agreed. They don't like the state of New Blood. Because, yeah, like, Kurara and Aya are very good, and I think they could do very good, but, like, are they going to wrestle Rian and insert name here? And then a Wave team or a Diana team? And that's kind of it. Like, because there's just very few teams. Hanako and Waka face Mizuki Kato like twice. They face Hibiko twice, like the 50-year-old woman. So, like the New Blood picture, I think you'd need like Chi Chi coming in to challenge them to make that work. Otherwise, I'm just kind of it's a bit of a shrug. Like I can't get
I
excited about New Blood.
I patted my dog on the butt to get back in my room, and my niece said, "Why are you hitting her? Why are you hitting her?" She started yelling at me. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think that we can rebuild the New Blood Tag Division, but we have moved on. What are we talking about now?
I was lamenting that
Oh, okay. All right.
Aya and Carrara would have to face some Diana 50-year-old twice probably in their reign.
I don't know.
We
I think
really need a
no,
revamp of that
dude,
brand.
dude, dude. We're getting Spike and Yuna as a tag. We're getting it. Trust.
That sounds awful.
Mainly
Yuna
Spike.
is
And
bad.
Yuna is bad, but remember, her and Spike had a fun match at New Blood last time,
Yeah,
Spike,
yes, I guess.
against Starlight Kid,
You
and
totally need like Chi Chi coming in to challenge Aya for the
yeah.
tags to really make it
Oh
work.
yeah,
But
get Chi Chi and Miku.
yeah, that could
Like
work.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think this could like I think the New Blood tag scene is what you make of it. Like I think they I think they stopped
Oh,
caring with
yeah, they
Anako
definitely
and Waka, but I think you can rebuild it pretty easily with the connections they have already.
That's true. Okay. Yuna Mizumori beat Saki Kashima and Mei Sarah in just under 5 minutes with a Supergirl pin. This is basically high-speed comedy right out of the COVID. It was very
Didn't they
fun.
put the
Saki
belt on the
Kashima,
line?
I don't know, because they have to do that at Korakuen.
That sucks.
This was fun. Saki Kashima, I love
Yes,
you. She's so funny.
me
It's
too.
like just so
Did you
entertaining.
know? This is off topic, but I forgot to bring it up when I first did it. I decided that my new ringtone when I got a new phone would be Saki Kashima's original theme song.
Hell yeah.
So now I get to hear it every once in a while and just be like, man, what a song. And then I answer my
Yeah,
phone.
it was very good. Rin Yamashita, Suzu Suzuki, and Akira Kuragane beat Hazuki Koguma and Dark Silhouette in 11 minutes. Rin Yamashita pinned Koguma with a sick splash mountain. Shouts out Dynamite Kansai.
Yep.
Um,
My,
you okay, Dylan? He is not okay.
okay, I finally threw her outside, so there should be no problems.
Okay. I was saying shouts out Dynamite Kansai.
Yes, you were. Yeah, the match was fun. It's maybe this is just me. Feels weird to see Koguma and Hazuki in Stardom now.
Yes, it is
Like it just feels
Polar Bear in Arlington.
like I don't know anything, so I don't know if this is gonna be a apt comparison, but it feels like seeing Val Venus in 2008 WWE. You know what? Do you get what I'm saying?
No.
Uh, like there are a lot of like Attitude Era wrestlers who just like hung out way longer than you think they did.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
Steven Richards too, where it's like, wait, what do you mean he was on SmackDown in 2009? That doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like that's how it feels with Hazuki and Koguma. It feels like they're not going to be around much longer. So
Yes.
it's like in 10 years, depending on how this all goes. Again, I don't know. This is me pretending like I know the future. In 10 years, it's going to be like, wait, FWC was still in the company by the 2025 five star? That's so really like you know what I mean? Because it
Mm.
just feels like they're so disconnected and they feel like a relic of 2 years ago. Um,
Yeah.
And that happened really quickly because it's not like, you know, it's not like they're old or anything like that. But I don't know. It's very interesting how they feel. Well, the match was solid enough.
Rin Yamashita basically carried it. Her
Yeah,
offense was sick. Like she
yeah. I
was
mean,
beating the crap out of Koguma.
when she wants to, Rainy Yamashita is one of the best.
Yeah. No,
You
she's
know
awesome.
she's decided
Uh,
I'll put some
Dark
effort.
Silhouette is bad. She was
I didn't
bad
want to say
for the
it.
entire match.
I thought
Like,
she was quite weak in this match.
yeah,
She did one spot that I liked. Can't remember
yeah.
what it was though.
I don't understand. CML has really talented women. Why do they never send any of them? Like, where is Kira? Where is Scotty? Where's Reina?
I've
What
been
are we
wondering
doing?
where Kira is this whole time. I feel like every time I
Yeah.
try to watch a CMLL show, she's not on it, and then when
I feel
she
like
doesn't get
her and
sent anymore.
Scotty got relegated to Tuesday tag duties.
Yeah,
It's very upsetting. Vacker left and they just said, you know what? We don't need a women's division. Like, that was it.
we have La Catalina and Persephone.
Yeah.
We don't need nobody else.
Yeah. We don't need Reina. She's only our best wrestler, you know? Fuck that. But yeah, no, this was all Rini Yamashita. This was the Yamashita show. Um then got on to Tomoka Inaba and Amisore beating Miyu Amasaki and Starlight Kid in 11 minutes. I thought it was cold as hell for Tomoka to just lock in a knee bar and snap somebody's knee while Kid had to watch. That was insane.
Yeah,
Um, and the Kid
she's
exchanges with
kind of
Inaba
evil.
at the start, those forearms, it was like, oh my god,
Yeah,
Kid, lay off. So yeah, this was good. I like this. This was a good time. Inaba versus Kid is going to be an insane white belt match. I know they already wrestled in the GP, but I feel like taking off all the restraints and just letting them do Starlight Kid white belt tropes with like leg battling. I feel like we're in for something great.
yeah, no, I agree. I think there is something really there's something they can really tap into there, and I'm super excited for. Um, because yeah, I thought this match was really good. Poor Miyu, always getting her ass kicked, always
Yeah.
dying for her homies. Um, I don't know if she'll ever stop, but we got to start like a fundraiser for her or something. She
She feels like
she
she's
gets
stuck.
cooked constantly.
Yeah, she's stuck in the rut, really.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know. It'll all serve in purpose of the great white belt match. We then got on to the future of Stardom Championship. Hina defended against Rani Agami in 11 minutes with an STF. Um, they've wrestled a lot this year. I feel like they've had a lot of exchanges, and they've basically built up this really strong chemistry. Like these two can wrestle a good match in their sleep, and that's kind of what this was. It was a good match. I've seen this pairing a lot, so it wasn't as good, but it was.
What
Hina is still capable.
what should Rana Yagami do?
Truly, I don't know.
Because like, yeah, I thought Hina was very good. Rana's cool, but like, I don't know. I feel like when you watch Rana wrestle basically anyone, sure she can be better than them, but she doesn't feel like she's moving forward regardless. You know what I mean? Like
Kind
like
of.
Hanako, while she isn't getting better at wrestling, she is progressing as a wrestler because the push is doing that. Someone like Aya, or maybe not even Aya, someone like Rian, while she is not getting pushed at all, she is becoming a better wrestler.
Yeah.
So she feels like she's moving forward. Rana is a good wrestler who isn't necessarily like getting actively better at wrestling, but she's also not getting pushed. So I'm just kind of like, what we doing with Rana? Like, what is
Well,
what is
the
Rana
world
Yagi?
needs people to stare at the lights,
They
and I
need good
just think
hands.
that's
Yeah,
Rana.
yeah. No, I
She's
get that.
just because like I like Rana, and I think her vibe is cool, but I also don't think I would ever push her if I was booking a company. Like she just doesn't have that kind of standout charisma at all, um, which I think will harm her in the future. So
I think
yeah,
this is gonna get me some heat. I think Rana Yagami suffers from being in the company she's in, uh, because she
I
isn't
don't
high
think she'd
speed.
fit anywhere
No, no, no.
else,
I know she
honestly.
wouldn't, but she isn't high speed. But she is under 55 kilos.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
it's like again, I don't think she would fit particularly well in Marigold, but she would at least have something to shoot for. Whereas, like, I guess she's shooting for the future belt, but I don't think she'll ever get it. And then she
I
has
don't
nothing.
know. Everyone gets it at this point, so maybe, but
Yeah,
maybe
we'll
not.
see.
I don't know. We then got on to Sari defending the IWGP Women's Championship against Konami. Sari won in 18 minutes with a wrist clutch reverse throw, also known as the "I'm dumping you on your noggin."
Hmm.
This was a great match. I know you didn't get to see it,
Yeah,
but this is a great match. It was a very intense, really fit with kind of Konami's strengths. Sari brought the antagonism as usual. I think they had a very interesting crowd because this was definitely the most into any match the crowd was up to this point, and it was like they would kind of just go back and forth based on what was happening in the ring.
yeah. I was gonna say, I think
Um,
Cyrie's making a believer out of some of these folks.
I don't even think it's that they're just really polite, and they keep getting told that that hate are the baby are the heels, so they kind of go, "All right, fine, we'll cheer for Sari," and then Konami will like drop her on her head, and they're like, "Okay, yeah, we like Konami again."
I saw
Very
I saw some Twitter
awkward back and
threads.
forth stuff.
I saw some Twitter threads that like from Japanese fans that I found very fascinating. That like some of them
Oh yeah,
were like why are you guys booing Saori so much? Like, you guys are being like, they're like, it's one thing to boo a heel, but you're just kind of being assholes. And then they're like, well, we need to defend our Tam Nakano, who she said that Saikawa Taira's Tam Nakano was a bad match. And I was like, that's what this is about? Are you kidding me? That's
hell yeah,
insane.
rile them
Uh,
up. That's what I say.
but yeah, like that, like, and they were like, and I think she should die for that. And I was like, what the fuck? Like Jesus Christ! Like like I don't know, these motherfuckers are falling on their swords here.
Yeah.
Um,
She was
but
doing the
yeah,
second Child Saya farce. Like that was it. You're getting the Stan Army out.
which is so funny because Natsupoi said it too.
Yeah, but Starry said it first. She's the outsider, I guess. But Either way, this was a great match. Definitely one of the
You are
stronger
higher on
matches.
it. You're higher on it than some people I've seen and spoken to.
Really,
Um,
people just don't.
a
People are
lot of
just
people said
very.
that the first one was way better.
Nah, that was so grounded, and like
Okay,
Konami's
well,
just
that's
gonna
the you thing.
crawl all
Let's move
over
on.
her. Anyway, um, we did kind of get a great direction though, because Suzuki challenged Sari after, and I was like, hell yes. So that's gonna be fun. But then we got on to the 5-star Grand Prix final. Momo Watanabe beat Azumi in 21 minutes. It says with the Peach Thunder. Oh, she did hit the Peach
You
Thunder,
did.
didn't she? Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I was yelling for it, the Peach Thunder. So yeah, I don't know if this is a good match or not, because honestly, I was spent the entire time rooting like I was watching football.
Mhm.
And I feel like that trumps any in-ring stuff. Like this could have been the worst match of all time, but I was invested so much that it was one of my favorites of the year. Anytime you can get me yelling and fist pumping at a finish, I think you've done your job really well. So just for the emotional roller coaster of it all, I enjoyed this, and this was a fantastic match to me. I don't know if objectively it's a good match. If you've never watched Stardom before and don't give a damn, I don't know if you're going to enjoy this. I don't know if it was bad or if it was good. I don't care. My emotional buy-in was there and at its peak, and that's all I really need. So yeah, to me, and I think to most people, this was probably a fantastic match because we were along for the ride. We were there for every turn of the roller coaster, and we were bought in and invested. And I think that's all that they really needed to do, was get us hooked.
Yeah, and I feel like there was just a lot. Uh, there was a lot to like about it. I thought the match itself, like I said, I need to rewatch it because I was in and out of consciousness watching it. Um, but I feel like the match itself just really lended itself to that care that we had for it. Um, I don't know, like you can go on Twitter and you can find many people dissecting the match from the beginning gaze, like just Azumi kind of looking softly at Momo and Momo looking hardly at Azumi, like just kind of like this, like I don't know, there was like this really interesting, just everything about it was really a fascinating match. Obviously, probably the biggest part, um, outside of her finally hitting the Peach Thunder and winning, uh, was that Momo stopped Ruaka and Azusa from getting involved.
Yeah.
She stood in their way, and then she didn't use the bat at all, as far as I remember.
She wrestled clean.
Completely clean. And yeah, I mean, like you said, it doesn't really matter the how much great work they did. Even though I do think it was very good work, uh, it just it did mean a lot. Um, and you watch afterwards, and Dragon Moon tweeted about this. You watch afterwards, and you see Momo, and she smiles, and it's like, how I used to say that Starlight Kid, the struggle I had with Starlight Kid is that, like, you can see the baby face in her
Yeah.
eyes, but she's pretending to be a heel. Um, I don't feel that with Momo. I don't want her to be a heel, but it's not because I don't think she is a heel at this point. Um, but when she like smiled like genuinely and she's kind of looked like damn, I did it. It's like you can see, uh, 18-year-old Momo, who beat Io, and like that, like proud, like truly, like, relief, and just like, yeah, I'm like, there was just like that feeling. You could see it in her eyes, you could see it through her smile. And like moments like that really stick with me. Um, because it was just really, it meant a lot to me. We already talked about it. Don't need to dive too much into it. Match itself was very, very good. I thought Azumi did a great job. I think these two are a match made in heaven. One of my favorite tag teams ever, basically. Uh, and I was really happy that this is the direction they went. And I'm
hmm
really happy that they were able to do this 10 years after uh, they had a singles match at the 5-star final in 2015.
All right, and that was that show. Um, we have a week off from previewing Stardom because they're taking a 2-week break before the Stardom to the World Yokohama Budokan show. and we'll preview that one in full next week. We have a lot of the card, I think, already sorted. So just in case you missed it, they announced for this Stardom to the World, they are running Yuri Yahime versus Hina, I believe.
Yes.
I hope it pops up. Yes, it does. No,
Well,
no,
do you not remember what was said?
no. I don't know if they booked those for
Oh,
Yokohama
that
or
might
a
be New
different
Blood.
show.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because all that's showing on the Yokohama thing now is Saya versus Beat Priestley and Mayu Miyazaki
Taki.
versus Natsuko Tora.
Yeah, no, there's more than
Um,
that.
yeah, they're doing Kid versus Inaba there, and
Yes,
I don't know anything
they're
else. They
doing
don't have it
Suzu
on the
and
news thing.
Suzu and Sari there too.
Suzu and Sari, yeah. So it's not. Oh wait, hold on. Here we go. It's on the news a few days ago. See, I forget the show was so long ago that they announced a lot of it. Wait, am I stupid? Yes, I am stupid.
Yes,
Okay, so it's not on the news section. Right. Okay.
but yeah,
No, I
Sari
would
and
need to go to
Suzu.
Twitter. I would need to go to Twitter, but we'll
I'm on
preview it
Twitter.
next week
Yeah,
anyway.
Twitter.
Yeah, we'll preview it next week. Is the future belt on that Yokohama show?
No, it is at
No.
Niter on the 10th.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I knew they split some of them up, so I wasn't sure what
Same
was
with
what.
Dark Silhouette versus Kokuma, the
That
CMLL
is
Japan
ridiculous.
Women's Championship.
What an insane match. Maybe Kokomo wins that.
Oh,
That would be
and
fun.
May Sarah versus Unimon, the high speed,
Ooh, yes, yes. So
and
they've
Neo Genesis versus Hate, the match that they had to rebook because Rena got hurt.
yes, okay. I know this is going to seem very conspiratorial, but the fact that they're so ahead of themselves now, there's definitely somebody else in the booking room. They did not used to be this like planned out. They used to announce this shit 2 days before a show.
This
Like
is the
there
Tam
is,
Road conspiracy.
yeah, like there is definitely somebody who is giving input to this booking because they never would have announced stuff 2 weeks in advance before. But yeah, we'll be back next week to preview a lot of that, not all of it, because the Niter is the following week, as far as our show goes. So that's gonna be fun. But that is that for Stardom, and there's that for the 5-star Grand Prix. Now we begrudgingly have to get on to Marigold, who ran just the one show this past weekend. They haven't really been up to much like news wise. I know they did a company barbecue
Barbecue.
where Chikigoto's sister is very prominent, which has led to a lot of speculation that there will be a second Goto entering the Marigold
She's a staff member as of now.
for now.
Yeah,
This Marigold show was so long ago that it's no longer on the cage
also
match
true.
recently
Yeah, the
things.
barbecue looked cool. Utami was aura farming and stealing people's
Of
phones and
course.
taking selfies as she does. Um, and
It's
everybody said, "I'm going to eat Hummingbird. She is chicken." Uh, and by
pretty
everybody, I
incredible.
mean mainly Mad Dog. Mad Dog was really on the
Yeah, I
"You're
mean,
chicken.
what do you
I'm going to
expect
eat
if
you."
somebody called Mad Dog? You know.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess the only news from
Oh,
Marigold is that
that was another thing about the barbecue was Mad Dog said, "I went around to people and told them I'd beat them up if they didn't call me pretty. They felt very uncomfortable,
okay,
but most of them, most of them listened." And I was like, "That's okay."
okay. Um, the only news is that Megaton is injured and is expected to miss like 3 weeks or so.
Yes,
Which doesn't really affect us and the show, but it is very disappointing regardless. Um, yeah, that's all for the news. So we're gonna review this one show. It was on the 22nd of August. They apparently did 583 fans in Arakawa for the Chikugoto Homecoming show, which is a pretty strong number, considering I've never heard of this place. Um,
Sun Pearl, shouts out.
do you want to do a full show review, or do you just want to do the GP matches?
I would say the GP match is in the main event
Right.
because
Okay.
those are the ones that
Um,
I watched.
on a newsworthy thing, Nagisa Tachibana got her first ever win in the company. She
Mhm.
beat Nao Ishikawa in the opener. Tachibana pulled out a rope jump move, so she does those now.
Swan dive, baby.
Yeah, and afterwards, now Ishikawa was like, I'm very upset
Holy
with
fuck, I
myself. I
suck
am the weakest.
ass.
Yeah, basically, I'm the weakest in the company. I've already been on an adventure, but I'm going to need a new thing. So I don't know. This is like the fourth time they've teased a different direction for Naoshikawa. And apart from her randomly showing up as Gigaton and then not being
And
Gigaton
turning
anymore.
heel and then turning the
No, but
fuck
remember
after that.
Gigaton came back for like one show and then
She came back
turned
for
and
one
was
show,
gone.
turned heel, and never
Disappeared
showed up again.
again. So they're gonna maybe by like the 12th time they tease a Naoshikawa direction, they will actually fulfill it. But yeah, Tachibana gets her first win. I think this. I feel like Rossi has really lost his fastball because what do you mean she won in a random house show with no
He's been
build up?
liking to do that. That's how Now won.
It is, but Nice
Now beat
Tachibana has a
Naho.
losing streak gimmick. Like it was like her whole thing. She's a trainee.
So did Now.
She's kind
I
of,
also
but
I also think that like just the problem, frankly, is that Ryoko's gone. So they're like, we just need to get like Tachibana into like
I
conversations
guess.
of potentially winning matches sometimes.
Yeah. I don't know. They just had something and they just never didn't use it. And I'm like, Rossi, come on, man. But anyway, um, let's see. We had a Dream League match. Koki Amare beat Victoria Yuzuki in 12 and a half minutes. This is a good match. I think Yuzuki basically fills in all of Koki's gaps. Like she will sell for Koki and she will do enough offense and move quick enough that Koki can just spam her big boots and it kind of just works.
Yeah.
Because Yuzuki is like, okay, well, I'm going to sell your big boots and I'm going to dump you on your head. And that was kind of it. It was just,
Yeah, I
it was
felt like
good.
they were both able to sell for each other super well or and bump for
Yeah.
each other super well. Um because like Yuzuki's moves aren't very complicated at all.
No.
Well, some of them are, but like in terms of like Yuzuki's gonna kick you in the face, and you're gonna sell like you just got kicked in the face. Shocker. Like
Mhm.
it's not hard uh, to kind of like make that work. And Koki also similarly, I'm gonna kick you in the face, and you're gonna
Yeah.
do a flip bump and die. So I really like this match. I thought it was quite good.
Hmm.
Um, I tweeted about that. It's like every time I really enjoy a Koki match. And I'm just like, see, I think there is potential growth from this point. I got somebody in my ear telling me that she's the worst wrestler to ever live and should break her knee again. Because people are mean. But yeah, like I don't know, like I didn't think this was indicative of like, oh, Koki's gonna be good from here on out.
Yeah, no, this is just a
Because it
carry
was
job. Like,
I don't think it was a carry job. I
it
think
was
Koki.
definitely a carry job.
I don't think it was a carry job. I think you just hate Koki. Um, but
I feel like I
I don't
watched the match and saw Yuzuki backpack it. That's all.
I don't think she backpacked it.
She
I think Koki
definitely
did.
backpacked.
I think Koki did well with what she was given. I think Izuki did
Yeah,
better
but
with what she was given.
never mind. I'm not doing the Koki arguments again.
Yeah, all right.
Anyway, yeah, I agree. It was a good match. Probably one of the better ones of the tournament because it has not been a great tournament so far. Anything over like 6 out of 10 is immediately top five, top 10.
Actually, I'm
Uh,
interested because like I generally agree. Because I I put into my spreadsheet. We didn't talk about last week. I don't know if you watched it. Rhea Seto versus Maria.
no.
Um, I loved that match.
Okay.
And so like Maria, who has been having a bad tournament,
Mm.
is like fucking bolted up the fucking rankings in my. And I was like, that's not right. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, that's incorrect. But that match was really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it. Yeah. Yuzuki tournament MVP probably so far.
Her and
Um,
Zeri. Yeah.
Heard Zeri. We then had Utami Hayashishita beat Maria in 9 minutes in the Dream League. This is fine. Utami
That
tried
was
her
good.
best. Yeah, I
Like low
guess.
good, not like
Yeah,
active
low
good, but
good. Yeah,
low
like I don't
good.
know. I'm waiting for Utami to
Truthfully,
like spring to life. She's really not helping her case here. Like
I don't think I disagree
I've had
vehemently.
such a weird time with Utami lately, and I'm like, I know you're like really great. Please, for the love of God, bring out the
See,
dog.
that's so strange to me because like she currently, technically, she is my tournament MVP
How?
because she had the Yuzuki match and the Seri match, and also has had other, you know, her baseline is very
Oh,
high.
she was a Seri. Oh, I didn't. Yeah, see, I took that show off, didn't I?
You need to watch
Completely.
that. That is
Yeah.
the match
Okay.
of the
No,
tournament.
that's fair. That's on me then. That's on me. I kind of
Um,
forgot.
yeah, and I thought the Yuzuki match was really, really good. And I feel like otherwise, even if she isn't really picking people up and carrying them, she's still having good matches like with
I
everybody.
guess.
I thought the Rhea match was good. I thought that
I
this
just
match
think
was
she
good.
can be great. I feel like that's my problem with this tournament. I know a lot of people can be great, and they're
Yeah,
not
no, I think that's
doing
fair.
great, and I'm just like, come on, poking it with a stick. Like,
And
come on,
I do think it's
do
especially interesting
something.
because it's like my Sakurai's tournament is basically done.
Yeah, she didn't
She
do
has like
fuck
a
all.
match left,
Yeah, I don't know.
and yeah, she has
I've got to
Amo
rethink this
and
tournament because they got absolutely walked by the 5 star. Like, it is not even funny how
who else hasn't
how
she
much
wrestled?
better that was.
Mirai. Yeah, she's got Mirai and Miku left. She's
Yeah,
wrestled everybody else. Like, and
she's
she
got to
just
deliver.
hasn't like she's had fine like her matches haven't been bad,
Yeah,
but it's just kind of strange. Yeah, I don't know. I've been on board with moving this tournament.
yeah,
Truthfully, I think
that's what I was saying.
putting in the Champions Carnival slot is smarter. Putting it in the spring. It's not
Yeah,
like they
see, the
have
problem
us.
is when you are moving your calendar around to fit WWE, you're kind of fucked because you're
Yeah,
going to end up running weird times. Because that's the reason this tournament is happening now, because he needs to run Sumo Hall around the same time as WWE, so he can be like, please, for the love of God, give me EO or give me Julia. Like, that's why this tournament is happening against the 5 star. And
yeah.
if next year WWE says they're running in June,
Because it probably would have been later.
yeah, probably, or it would have been earlier. Like, I don't know, but
See, but I think
we're
because
stuck.
of that, I think they should do it leading up to the anniversary show instead.
Yeah, well, I think when we initially talked about them doing a tournament, we said spring. Like, we ourselves were like, they should do
Yeah,
it in spring. It would be different and it would help their calendar. And they just, they hate
I think,
doing anything fun or
but
original.
I do think it's difficult. And I know we're going a bit long, but I do think it's difficult in that there is a mentality around tournament season. Um, that I
Kind of, but like
question.
the Dragon Gate runs theirs in like November, doesn't it? Like, and DDT
Yeah,
runs theirs in a different time,
in
and they're
November too.
fine.
They both
Like
run them in November. Well, but this is the thing
they
because
don't bother do it.
I look at All Japan. The Champions Carnival feels like an island. And if you
Yeah.
aren't locked into All Japan, you're not watching the Champions Carnival. But Puro fans, or just like Japanese wrestling fans, will watch the onslaught of the G1 into the 5 star into the whatever other tournament they're watching. So I think that like in the same vein that like we've talked about Marigold doing a New Year's show still because everybody does a New Year's show. That's when people have the appetite for a big show is during the New Year. So I can see that being the reason why they want to keep it around this time. And this year, like you said, they kind of seem to line it up with when WWE was doing their Japan tour. Uh, and that happened to be a bit earlier this year than it was last year. Or no, later
It's
this year than
later.
it was
Yeah,
last
it's
year,
later.
much later. Um, but so like I think that they kind of like you're right. I think they did kind of shoot themselves in the foot by trying to line up with WWE too much, and it ended up that they had to compete with Stardom for the majority of their tournament, which is the problem. Truthfully, I think if the last week of the 5 star and the first week of the Dream Star lined up together, sure, who cares? Like the first week can be a bit of a they can finish up the tournament, it's fine, and then from there they can really jump off from there. But I'm looking at this tournament now. It's like you we wanted to jump into gear at this Korakuen, but that Korakuen is so late into the tournament, that it's like you almost forget that we're over halfway through with it. You
Yeah.
have to have started earlier. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I've been
Not
saying it.
started the tournament, but started like amping up earlier.
Yeah. No,
Because
I
I
mean,
do
look,
expect.
I think this has
We're
been a
going to
weak
talk about.
tournament, and they've got to pull it together this week, or they're fucked. No two ways about it. But we'll finish this review first. Mayu Iwatani beat Chikugoto in 17 minutes in Chikugoto's homecoming special. This is a very good match. Mayu put in one of those classic Mayu performances. Just did everything you could ask of the, beloved ace facing the hometown hero. She worked kind of heel. She like played that up to the crowd. They chanted for Chica and she looked sad and was like, "Hey, come on." And then sometimes they would chant for Chica and she'd be like, "No, I'm gonna hit her again." Like, "I'm gonna hit her again. You want to chant? I'll hit her again." And like she was just like kicking her a lot and like being really disrespectful and like trying to take the arms out of play with her kicks. She just had an exceptional Mayu Iwatani performance. Um, and Chikugoto as the kind of resilient babyface, I thought did really well. I
Yep.
think 17 minutes was a little bit too long. If they'd cut a few minutes off, I would be talking about this as a house show classic. But for what we got, like this match is exactly why you signed Mayu. Like everything she did in this was perfection.
Yeah, no, I agree. I do think it was a tiny bit long for my tastes. Uh, just because I don't think Gochika has a ton to do, and they did do a great job of kind of working around the swing and kind of like making that a
Yeah.
big pillar of the match, and I appreciated that. It was actually funny before the match or after the I don't know. Somebody tweeted at Gochika, "Hey, you don't win. So like you should steal Miyu Watanabe's swing."
Oh, I
And
saw that.
she's like, why the first of all, fuck you for saying I'm a loser. Shut up. Second of all, I don't want to steal from other people. Like, do you know how wrestling works? Like, I can't see how she doesn't just do the exact same thing after being told. Like, I don't know. She was just, I don't know. I think that was a funny little thing. But Gochika, very good at being the babyface underdog, but it was a bit difficult because I still think she's a bit early on into her uh, moveset building, similar to Rena in that way, where it's like we're there's more depth to be added for Gochika, but
Mm,
just the actual what she was able to do was really good, and obviously it's nice to see her get such a good spot in her hometown.
yeah. And fair play to Mayu. She did the business. Not
Yes,
that losing, she did not
no, she
lose,
did not
but
lose.
she definitely helped get Chica a bit more over with the audience. So that was that show. I did watch all of that show because I've been completely out of Marigold for a little bit, but I regretted it because the Darkness
It's so
Revolution
funny.
tag on this show absolutely fucking sucked.
You
So
waited
bad that I
until
thought Rhea Seto is like an all-time bad heel wrestler. Like
You
it's
waited
crazy.
until, like, the show that everybody pans, it's just like, "Yeah, this one." But you missed, like, several shows where it's like, "Oh, man, there was, like, 2 great undercard matches
I
or
fully went back
non-tournament
and
matches."
watched some tag matches to prove some points and
Oh,
defend
I
my
yeah.
girls. So I know, but
But, yeah,
yeah.
those were they've had some good non-tournament matches, but you decided to watch these for some reason.
Listen, man, it lined up. The 5 star is over. I have slightly more time to dedicate to Marigold. That's all. But Marigold is running Cork and Hall on the 30th of August. Are we previewing the Face show as well? Is the second in the next 7 days?
Should be oh, fuck, is that a Tuesday?
I don't know.
I have a
Yes, it
calendar pulled
is.
up. Yep.
It is.
So
Great.
we
So we have
are
two
we
shows.
are previewing it, yeah.
Okay. I'll be back in a few minutes then. I got it. So, our first show to preview on 30th of August in Cork and Hall, where hopefully this company kicks into gear. Chiaki takes on Rhea Seto. That is not a promising start.
That's how they're gonna do it. Um,
I don't know. I don't care.
Koki should win.
I'm so out on Rhea Seto right now. I'm just don't want to watch her wrestle. Uh, Chiaki, no,
She
Misa Matsui
Her and
versus
Maria was really good. You gotta watch a couple of shows that you missed.
no, Misa Matsui versus Kazuna Tanaka. That could be good. I think they could work well together. Misa probably wins.
Yeah,
I don't know what that means.
I don't know. I think Kazuna can win this.
Okay.
Get that upset because Misa's doing well.
Really?
so far.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah,
Kizuna.
she's 3-1.
Right.
She still has Mirai, but otherwise she should probably lose here, beat
hmm
Nozaki, and then lose to Mirai, so she ends at like. But anything more than that, I think, is probably a problem.
All right. Nagisa Nozaki takes on Chika Goto. Probably Nozaki winning. She's dropped a
I
few.
would I would assume that, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Sari Yamioka versus Koki. Um, Koki has very few points, right?
Wait. How did
What?
you? Oh, never mind.
I'm going
Um,
in order.
I know. I thought you said Koki versus Rhea was the first match, and I
No,
was like, wait, Koki's twice? No, it's
Chiaki.
Rhea and Chiaki. I think that would be fun actually. It's an interfaction. Could be a little fun little thing. This match, I think Sari wins. I
Really?
still think Sari's going to the final,
Okay.
so I think her having a tiebreaker over Koki sets that in motion.
Right, but Koki doesn't have many points, doesn't she? She dropped like
She's
two of
two
her
and two.
first.
She's two
Oh,
and two.
mm,
So
yeah. I guess if
sh
you're assuming she gets a good result against Utami,
yeah, so I
yeah,
guess oh, she still has Mayu left too. Fuck.
yeah. So I'm thinking Koki needs to
Okay,
get
yeah,
a
I
win.
think Sari wins here, yeah. Because
Koki
yeah,
or Sari?
I think Koki wins
Okay, yeah, that's what I
because
was going with.
Koki's not gonna be in contention, I don't think,
Yeah, very likely.
because
Um,
she would have to beat Sari and Mayu, just to be like close to Tommy. It seems like.
yeah, okay. Um, Miko Ono takes on Chan Yota.
Mm,
Um,
interesting one.
yeah, I
I
mean
think
Miko hasn't wrestled a lot in the tournament, right? She's
she
just
she wrestled the first show, and that's it, as far as I remember.
so she's 1-1.
She's 1-0-1. Or no, she's
Yeah.
0-1-1.
Right, yeah, so she's gonna win.
Yeah, she's just winning out.
All right. My Sakurai versus Mirai. That might go to a draw. They might do that as a TLD.
I think that's the draw of the show. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. Okay.
Poor
Um.
Mariah though. She's gonna get nothing but draws
Well,
and
you
get counted out that one time.
know. um. Yuzuki versus Maria.
Mm.
Uh. Maria. Yuzuki has a good few points, right? Well, no, she
Yuzuki
she only has four, I
is
think,
three
doesn't
and
she?
one. No, she's 3-1.
3-1. Okay, so yeah, she can lose here to Maria.
3-2. She has 2 matches left. Oh, she has Rhea left and Maya left. So she can push to 8 against Rhea, unless Rhea's beaten her. I think Yuzuki wins.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Utami Hashishita versus Mayu Iwatani. Um, you'd assume Mayu.
I actually wonder what I had last time. If Utami wins here, she what? 1, 2. She's 4-1. She'd go to 5-1. She
Okay.
eliminates a lot of people,
Yeah,
actually.
so Mayu.
Yeah, Maya's only at 4. She's 2 and
Wow.
1. She doesn't have many matches, obviously. Um, yeah, I think Mayu does have to win here.
Yeah.
Uh,
Koki over Utami on the final day is looking a lot more likely. I think I called that early, but it's definitely looking
I don't know. It's
necessary.
it's it's interesting because I don't know. It's always hard going from like 10 to 8 or like whatever um with points because I'm thinking like 8 feels a bit low for the champion to end at. But the top is what 14? That's the highest amount of points you
hmm
can get. So 8 is very good. If you're not winning the tournament.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think Mayu does win here uh
Okay.
to keep Sari mainly alive.
All right. Then we go on to Shinjuku Face, which is on the 2nd of September. Fun fact, they have not put the card for this on the website.
Oh,
So,
I have it.
okay.
Match in the Dream League is Victoria Yuzuki versus Rhea Seto.
So that's Rhea going over.
Yeah, I think Rhea's going over. Over in the Star League, it's Miku Ano versus Kazuna Tanaka. Again, Miku.
Okay. Miku, yeah.
Back to Dream League is Mayu versus Koki.
Oh. That's a weird one.
Mm.
Koki is on 6.
Yes.
And we had her beating Seri. So this would be Mayu. You're not going to have Koki go on to 10 already. Unless
Well, no,
she's going through, but
Koki's on 4. Her beating Sari would get her on 6. This would bring her to
yeah.
8.
Okay. You
Which is
know, they might.
possible,
Yeah.
but no, I think Mayu wins.
Okay.
I think
All
Mayu
right.
wins, and that effectively eliminates Koki. It doesn't eliminate her, but
Yeah. I just don't. I still think some part of me that think Koki will go through and lose to I don't know, but it's
I'm
fine.
down
We
with that.
can have her go out.
They're kind of building a Chikagoto reunion for
Ah,
Koki on the
great.
undercards a little bit. So I imagine that's where her quote unquote push will come in.
Mm,
Next up is Twin Tower getting the tag belts.
that's good. Okay. Is there anything
Oh,
else?
Chikagoto versus Chanyota.
Uh,
That's the Xavi Classic, as they call
yeah. Is that Chanyota?
it. It could be.
Yeah.
I don't think either of the Chanyota's only at 4 with 3 matches
Yeah.
left. We had her losing to Miku, so it would be
Hmm.
this. It would be her and Mirai is the last match. I don't. I think she could just win this, and she would move to 6, and then last day, it's a toss up with her and Mirai. Chanyota going to 8 would not like it. That's just not going to be enough. Like that just doesn't. 8 is not the magic number in this tournament.
Yeah.
So because there's like a bunch of people at 6 right now. One of them, some of them are going to have to win. Chanyota is going to be out. So yeah, I think Chanyota loses to Miku, like we said, and then beats Chikugoto, and then
Okay.
the Mirai match is up in the air
It was
because
50-50
Chanyota's not
in
going.
Chanyota. It makes a lot of sense.
I think that's the right way to go because
Yeah.
you want to keep a lone talent looking good without
Mm-hmm.
pushing her actively.
You agree?
Yep. Oh, and one more. Sari Yamaoka versus Maria, which was supposed to be Sari versus Senka.
Okay. That was originally Seri losing to Senka. That felt
Yes,
like an obvious one. But
but
I don't
now I
I
don't
don't know
know if
what
they're
they've done with Maria's booking because it doesn't seem like they've kept Senka's.
no. Well,
Like they usually keep Senka. I thought I saw a theory that she just got Koki's booking and Koki
that's
took
what I was
Senka's.
kind of thinking. Um,
Because
it's
Rossi
hard.
doesn't like rebook shit. He just like goes, okay, well you're just gonna get what she was gonna get. Like remember
Yeah,
Azumi replaced Casey Owens in the GP one year and he was just like, yeah, you're just gonna beat veterans.
yeah.
Casey Owens was going to, so why the hell not? I'm like, okay, sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, what was it? Death Yama-san replaced somebody of note and went like 10, got 10 points
Yes.
or
Yeah,
something crazy.
I remember.
Uh, yeah. So yeah, I don't really know. Because you're right. This does feel like Maria over
Then
Sari.
Sari has a hard time getting to the final if she loses to Koki and Maria, right? She'd have to win.
Oh, if she loses both of them, I think she's out. Yeah, if she
Right.
loses both of them, she is out because Utami has a tiebreak.
Interesting.
She needs to win one of them.
Or
I
not.
think she. I don't think she
I
enters the
know that
last two
yeah,
days.
she'll enter the last day in contention.
Like she still has Rhea Seto after this.
She's gonna beat
um,
Rhea.
I know, but like going into the Rhea match, you think she's going to be out of contention? Because that's a natural out. Like Utami is at 8 points, has a tie over Sari. If Sari loses 2 matches, she will at best be able to get to 8 points, and
Okay.
Utami's already.
Okay. So should beat Maria.
Yeah, I think she. I think
Not
she'll
going to
beat
beat Koki. Should beat Maria.
Yeah.
Okay. At all?
Yeah, those are the matches.
Great. Okay. Yeah, this tournament has a long way to go, but Korakuen Hall, Mayu versus Utami, it's your best shot.
Yeah,
And
that's
we're in the
another
close.
bread and butter.
Yeah, at the very worst, the tournament will be over soon, and we can get back to what Marigold as well, which is the tags.
Tag
Because
matches.
the tags of like every show, people have been like, "Oh yeah, well this tag was like the best match of the show," and I'm like, that's not really ideal, but that is definitely like pure Marigold. Like this
That's
is
why
a
it's so
tag.
funny that you picked like the one show where everybody's like, "Yeah, the tags are kind of."
I didn't
And
pick
you're
it.
like, "I'm watching the
I didn't pick it.
tags."
The
Okay,
5-star
okay.
ended.
Yeah,
I didn't tell them when to finish the tournament.
but
Anyway,
that does make it funny.
okay. Well, we'll be back next week to do all this stuff. We'll review Marigold, we'll preview Stardom, and we'll preview the rest of the Dreamstar.
Not the
Momo Watanabe
rest.
is our 5-star winner. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Stardom is being booked by somebody with foresight. So God bless.
and it's real.
Yes. So with that, if you want to stand, you may stand. If you want to sit, you may sit. Believe today, shine tomorrow. You decide what you believe in.
Shine forever, Marigold. Stardom Quest Gold. Passion.
Ijo.
Ijo.